three, four.
Hey, good people. Listen, we have so much to talk about. How are y'all doing this evening? A good happy hello to my IC Insider family and the Winter Womanland community. You guys, listen, I've been so behind in watching Summer House. And then today, when I wanted to catch up for my recap tonight, I fell asleep. So I really had to rush. Look at it, I lost my sweater. I really had to rush to watch it so I could do this recap because y'all been calling me out on Twitter talking about some winter. Where's your recap? Yeah, I'm on it. I promise I'm on it. I'm on it. I'm on it. I got it together. But then I watched it and it got on my nerves. But we're gonna talk about it. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. We're gonna talk about it tonight, along with some hot topics. Because let me tell you what, I hop in and out on different platforms. And let me just tell y'all, it's a lot going on. It's a lot going on. There was a huge announcement made today about y'all, it's just a lot. It's a lot happening. But anywho, neither here nor there. Thank you to everyone that wished me a happy Mother's Day. Yo, I had an amazing Mother's Day. It was so good. I went to church on Sunday. I got to hang out with my babies. My sister took me out for brunch with my littles on Saturday. My son came over and cut my yard for me on Sunday and sent me the sweetest message. Let me tell you, there's nothing more precious than your kids getting old enough to articulate how they feel about you. And it was such a sweet message. I was like, but I had a great Mother's Day. Thank you guys so much. It was wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Me and my boo went to church and it was just a good day. It really was a good Mother's Day. I literally told y'all I wanted to enjoy my Mother's Day with the people that I love most. And that happened. I had a great day. Had a great day. And it was good. But I've been trying to keep up with Summer House, and I am all the way caught up. Don't get it twisted. Look at my hair. My hair is doing what it wants to do in this weather. Anyway, I finally got caught up and I watched episode 8, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. We're on episode 8 with Summer House. So you guys know season 2 of Summer House, pretty much all of the original Lord. All of the originals from season 1 are back for season 2. My fave is Preston. That hasn't changed yet. And I like Preston because I feel like he is the most level-headed in the house. He has his moments, but I do feel like he's very good at communicating how he feels. He's very good at being funny. He's very good at throwing shade. He's also very good at holding people accountable. So anyway, Nick has his event at the house this particular episode. He invites some of the people closest to him, and he's celebrating because he has lost one of his friends. Now, y'all follow me on Twitter, y'all know that I said Nick really irked me when he was so upset that his friends didn't congratulate him or wish him luck when he ran his marathon. But later in the episode, he explained that the reason why this marathon was so sensitive to him was because he lost a friend that was very encouraging. So the lack of their encouragement, I think, probably wouldn't have bothered him so much if it was not for his good friend passing. So that allowed for me to have a little bit more sympathy towards Nick, because at first I was just like, dude, you whining? But he really wasn't whining. It was more so he was in his emotions, and he definitely was in his feelings. And y'all, Nick is a mama's boy. And if you know anything about mama's boys, they tend to be very good with being in touch with their emotional side. Doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with that. I love a man who's in touch with his emotions, and Nick is definitely that guy. But we move on. He has this celebration. He invites his friends. His girlfriend is present. Now, y'all know, if y'all started watching season 2 of Summer House, that Nick came across like he was trying to find him a fun little summer fling. Come to find out, he had a whole girlfriend he had been with for quite some time. And I'm like, he absolutely got the side eye from me, because it's like, if you got this girlfriend, did she give you a hall pass while you were on this little spring break vacation, or are you just raggedy? That's the questions I need answers to, because it came across like he was being raggedy, but I'm not sure. I'm not so sure. But it did seem that way. It seemed like he was being raggedy. And before I forget, if you have not liked this video, make sure you like the video. Make sure you share the video. And if you have not subscribed to Winter Womanland, make sure you do so. But yeah, I really don't know what to think about that. Anyway, fast forward. Yes, Nick's girlfriend's Tasia. She's beautiful. She really, really is a pretty girl. And she comes to the event. Of course, all of the ladies in the house are side-eyeing Nick, because he's been acting like he's single and ready to mingle, yet he has this girlfriend that's been around. And of course, he tries to straighten up and fly right during this time. Now, we also know that both Bria's boyfriend Simon is here for Nick's event, and Amir's girlfriend is also here. I can't think of that girl's name, but I don't like her no way, so it really don't even matter. She irks my last, and I feel like this particular episode, she really plucked my nerves, something serious. And this has nothing to do with the color of her skin, but everything to do with the intention she has of consistently inserting herself. Her name is Natalie. Thank you for that, Sydney. But we could have just called her. She's ridiculous. So their significant others are here along with the other house guests. And so this celebration is happening, okay? Simon, who is German, I believe, comes downstairs in a flamingo suit. Y'all know Bria works my absolute last nerve. She is an entitled, bratty piece of work. She is very disrespectful. I'll get to her in a second. Anyway, Simon, who is German, okay, he's German, comes downstairs in a flamingo. Now, I saw some of y'all online talking about that's what they do. I do feel like this is him being him, but I also got clout chasing vibes from Simon. And like he couldn't handle not being the center of attention. And so in order to redirect the attention of him on himself, and I feel like Simon has caught wind of the fact that he on TV. Even though he's a foreigner, he's on TV and he's liking the limelight and the spotlight, which is why I think he wants to visit so much. And when he has to go home, he gets upset because Simon likes the spotlight. So when Simon feels like he's not getting the attention, Simon brings his little happy behind downstairs in a flamingo suit. Now I blame Bria. What you not gonna do is embarrass me. I equate this to my Louis Armstrong experience. I don't want to hear your Louis Armstrong impression. Excuse me. I don't want to hear your Louis Armstrong impression right now. I'm embarrassed. You need to cut it out and act like you have some sense. Simon is flopping around in this flamingo in the middle of this celebration where this man is grieving the loss of his friend. And I'm gonna charge it up to the fact that maybe his foreign mannerisms don't, or foreign etiquette doesn't necessarily know like rules of engagement and how we do things in America. But he was absolutely doing the most. But I also felt like he was trying to be seen. So, of course, Bria takes it to the 1000th degree, gets an attitude, and starts going off on Simon. But I thought she literally had first degree assault on this flamingo because she was so upset that he had on his suit. But I'm like, girl, you know who you dating. I do not think this is the first time that Simon has been like this. I really don't. So for you to act a plumb fool right now, when you know that's how he is, and what you have done is trained him to match your energy because now he's feeling himself. Now you want to have an attitude. I literally think that Bria is low-key abusive. She is self-centered. She gaslights the heck out of everybody that tries to confront her like an adult. She is a child. She's immature. And I think she's insufferable. I do not know how they make it throughout any amount of filming with her. She literally is ridiculous. Hey, Sean, how are you? I'm well. I just don't get her. I used to have a friend by the same name that was equally as annoying and entitled. But I also believe that the way that she confronts Simon is very disrespectful. And I also believe, in my opinion, this is why she chooses to date outside of her race. Because I don't believe any Black man would tolerate her acting like that. I really don't. I do not believe that at all. She is disrespectful in the worst kind of way. And he sits there unable to communicate because he has limited language and defend himself against her because she's spazzing out. I don't like her. Hi, the hot nerd. I just don't like it. I don't like it, y'all. She irks me. 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 But let me tell you who else who irks me. Let me tell you what else irks me and who else irks me. Natalie. Natalie irks me. Amir's girlfriend is also trying to get a spot on this show. So she inserts herself into situations that have nothing to do with her. To give y'all a little backstory on this episode, if you have not seen it, this is spoiler alert. So the girls are discussing how Nick is very handsy and touchy-feely, okay? Very touchy-feely. And they are talking about this, and Natalie, Amir's girlfriend, overhears this conversation. She's friends with Nick's girlfriend, and she takes it upon her little happy self to hear conversation at the family reunion, because this is why y'all got to be careful about who y'all bring over to the barbecue. Okay, y'all got to be careful about who you bring over to the barbecue, because everybody wasn't trained and raised how to behave. There's a code of ethics at the barbecue. What happens at the family barbecue stays at the family barbecue. Amir's girlfriend don't understand how that works. So Natalie takes her little happy-go-lucky behind and goes and tries to tell Nick's girlfriend what is being discussed at the family barbecue. Hey, BTV. No, ma'am, that's not how things work. That's not, you're going to get your invite revoked. You were messy for no reason. Nobody asked you to go back and tell that girl nothing. I was yelling at the TV. Get her out of there. Because she's trying to insert herself because baby wants to be seen. She wants to be on this show. Reminds me of somebody else. But she wants to be seen. So she inserts herself unnecessarily in things that have nothing to do with her and decides that she's going to be the bone carrier. Look, girl, you're in you're a guest to the barbecue. You didn't have to say anything. Nobody asked you to say a thing. And Amir, who I actually really liked prior to this episode, his inability to hold his girlfriend accountable, child, I'm good on it. I don't like him this particular episode. Yes, BTV, you are not lying. And he absolutely should have told that girl to mind her business. And she did not. Therefore, it created a rift in the group because I'm like, Nick, why y'all being messy? Why y'all being messy? And let's be clear, are y'all telling on y'allself? Because every last one of y'all were on his jock strap when he was at that pool party on Freaknik. Are y'all gonna tell on y'allself how y'all thought how cute he was and fine he was and oh he could get it? We gonna tell that part? If you're not gonna tell it all, then just be quiet. But Amir absolutely did not hold Natalie accountable. I feel like she runs him and low-key don't really like him that much anyway. So you doing the most unnecessarily. Get your guest in check. That was just y'all. Throw the whole I was so mad. I was so mad. And I really, really liked Amir. I'm telling you, he was one of my favorites. Not no more. He has really taken a heavy decline with this whole Natalie mess. And then I feel like he low-key encouraged it. Because when she said she was going to go say something, he should have said, no. Stay out of it. Stay out of it. Stay out of it. Listen, my man look at me real quick and be like, is that necessary? Is that necessary? Sometimes you need that. I don't understand why he couldn't have told her to sit her tail down. I just didn't like it. And I do feel like he encouraged her. Oh, Sydney, she was smirking, but she knew she had created a little bit of tension. And she felt like, yes, I got myself included. You said guests who misrepresent me are traumatizing. I'm trying to tell you. Y'all, listen, I have been in some situations. One thing's for certain and two things are for sure. Ask my sister. We don't like to be embarrassed. It's some people I will never invite anywhere. You got one good time to show me that you are embarrassing or have embarrassing behavior, embarrassing ticks. Say you'll tell at home. You're not about to shame me. I'm not even gonna hold you. I literally used to be friends with someone that blew their nose like a trumpet. Y'all, it legitimately sounded like a trumpet. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. No, stay home. Don't nobody want to hear that. And they had allergies really bad. How in the world did you get it to sound like a trumpet? Y'all, I was so shamed. I'm like, one good time. I'm done with it. One good time. I'm not gonna be able to do it. Be able to do it, y'all. I promise you. I do not like to be embarrassed. And I really feel like maybe that's a Southern thing, but my mama always told us, like, you need to use your good manners and act like you have some absolute sense. You also don't involve yourself in things that have nothing to do with you. Mind your business, especially in settings where you're a guest. She was a guest and she stirred up mess. Ugh. I feel like she's going to be problematic. And I feel like she needs to go home. I don't think Bria and Simon are going to last. That's my honest opinion because I think Bria is starting to figure out that Simon likes the spotlight as much as she does. And he also gets sick of her mess. Also gets sick of her mess. I don't think they're gonna last. I really don't. She's insufferable. I think she literally is verbally abusive. The way she fights him and I'm like, who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? Like, what is wrong with you? Who raised you? That's what I want to add. Well, who is Bria's parents? Who raised you, sis? Buffoonery. You said, girl. Now BTV. Now BTV. Not that's how I felt Sunday. That is hilarious. I did hear it was a mess though, child. Not just from you. I was in the house of God and I enjoyed my Mother's Day. You said right that part. Act like you have some sense, anime. You said Amir quietly watched the whole dogtown situation go down and didn't say a word. Oh, Sydney, I wholeheartedly believe that they're more alike than we think. Somebody pulled a tweet that he once tweeted talking about he's low-key scared of Black women. So you mean to tell me you're low-key scared of yourself? What was that supposed to mean? It sounds like to me that Amir has difficulty identifying with his Blackness. That's what it sounds like to me. And he needs to reconcile that. Black women are not to be feared. That's ridiculous. I don't like that narrative. That's crazy. You said Bria never sees what... Bria narcissist. That's what I think. She is narcissist. Well, I won't call allegedly, whatever. I won't call her a narcissist. She has high narcissistic tendencies. Okay. Self-centered, inability to take accountability. It literally, Preston is the Bria whisperer. But he low-key got to go off on her to get her to see what she did wrong. She is verbally abusive to that dude. I don't care what anybody says. I wouldn't like it if a man did it to a woman, and I don't like it when a woman does it to a man. Some narcissists, I'm gonna be honest, some narcissists are very demure. They're very chill because honestly, they don't want people on the outside to pick up on their they don't want people to pick up on their manipulation and emotional and verbal abuse. So they tend to be very chill and try to like ride and fly under the radar. It's not until they reach a point where they cannot control their emotions anymore that they get angry and fly off the handle. I do believe I do believe she's on the spectrum of narcs. She is very verbally abusive to Simon. The way that she acts out, if a man did that to a woman, y'all, we would be losing our cool on the good old internet because we would be outraged at how a man is treating a woman. Yet when we see this done vice versa from woman to man, she's a brat. No, she's verbally abusive. Let's call a thing a thing. She is high key, ridiculously disrespectful. I can't stand her behavior. I can't stand her behavior. I can't stand her behavior at all. I'm trying to tell you, Natty, embarrass me once, baby. That's your last invite. Will never happen again. And that's in any capacity. BTV, you ain't been a fan since season 1? I liked him season 1. Amir was one of my favorites. And then this season, every episode, he get lower and lower on the list. But Baby, he reached the all-time low with this episode. He worked my last, including his girlfriend. You said, I think Amir chooses not to identify with his blackness. Yeah, I mean, I can agree with that to some extent. I also would be curious to understand his upbringing. And I do find that a lot of mixed race choose to identify where they find the most acceptance. So if you are in an environment where you feel more accepted by one race over the other, you're going to identify with them more. I would be curious to understand his surroundings and upbringing because it's giving he was around primarily Caucasian, a primarily Caucasian environment. That's what it signals to me. It may have struggled in an environment where it was predominantly Black. And if he was in an environment where he was predominantly Black, it's given picked on. It's given he was picked on. I saw this all the time growing up in Arkansas because we don't have a lot of culture there. And what I mean is that things are very much black and white. And then you'll see a Hispanic here or there. But a lot of times with mixed race, you'll see them either gravitate more towards Caucasians or you'll see them gravitate more towards Black. I've never seen them be able to balance. I literally have never been able to see them balance. Even when I went to college, a lot of the mixed race, either they identified more primarily Caucasian or they identified more Black. And oftentimes those mixed race individuals pledged because it also backed up acceptance. So I just need more information on Amir, but it's definitely given that he was primarily accepted by Caucasian and therefore finds it difficult to identify with his Blackness. Because that whole comment, I'm low-key scared of Black women. Okay. I am offended by that comment as a Black woman. Because what? You said he's young in a lost world, child. I don't know what he is, but what I do know is that his girlfriend gets on my nerves, and so does he. That's what I know. But we end off with Nick basically confronting the ladies about them saying that he's handsy and inappropriate. And Nick gets Bria all the way together, but of course, like Bria typically does, if she can't gaslight to gain leverage in a conversation, she leaves. Y'all, Bria type of person you be wanting to square up with because she's ridiculous. And I don't advocate for fighting. I don't fight and I don't advocate for fighting. But that girl, woo, tests the innermost bounds of my religion every time I watch her. You said Amir gives me he can benefit more. I don't disagree, Natty. I don't disagree. And it's unfortunate. It's so unfortunate. Hey, Megan. It's so unfortunate that that's the case, but I think it is highlighted in this house full of Black people. He may not have never noticed because he's been in environments that hide or cover that up. But in this environment, it's actually highlighted and it sticks out because of the environment. But we'll see how this goes. I don't feel like Bria ever takes real accountability. I don't. I feel like she has the maturity of a 3-year-old. I do. I feel like she has the maturity of a 3-year-old. Paulette says she spoke about how much more she makes than him. Million dollar seller. He's on a lower level. I vaguely remember that. I feel like I fell asleep on that episode and I didn't go back and watch. She don't like him like that. She don't like him like that, y'all. I promise you. I don't feel like she even likes him like that. She gives a level of tolerance that I just, ugh. Hey, Finer Dove. Yeah, I don't think she's very condescending. If you listen to her language and you listen to little comments that she makes, like snarky comments, she's very condescending to Amir. You said true. She said what he makes in a year, she makes in a. See that stuff right there? That stuff right there. Let me tell you what, I have dated some people that ain't had no money, child. I have dated some folks that ain't had no money. I have. I have dated some folks that ain't got no money. But that's not something you say when you're in relationship with someone. Now after, depending on how we end, we might discuss it. Honestly, I would say income's only came up twice, honestly, in my entire dating history. Because I was on the show. If I hadn't been on the show, I wouldn't have discussed it. Because I just don't think that income is something you typically discuss. Being on reality TV, you discuss it all. But other than that, I just feel like that's not appropriate. And I just feel like if you love someone and you know information like that, you wouldn't say that to them. She's condescending all the way around. She really is. You said I understood Bria with the flamingo situation, but when she ran down how he doesn't protect her and what his family said, I was done because why you still with him? Because ain't nobody else gonna put up with that mess. Ain't nobody else gonna put up with her. I'm serious. Oh, hey, always girl one. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Guys, make sure you like the video, please, and share it. That's all I have to say about Summer House. That's all for my recap. If you go back and watch the episode, please know that a lot of what I shared is a spoiler. So if you haven't seen episode 8, if you watch this video, I just spoiled it. So I apologize in advance. But go watch it. It's a good show and it's a great episode. Preston and I are getting together soon. I can't wait. I'm so excited to chat it up with him. Like I said, he's my favorite on the show. So I look forward to that conversation. Hopefully I can get him over here on the channel and we can have some good live Q&A fun because I would love to chat it up and just hear his thoughts about different situations that I've seen and give my commentary on how I may or may not have responded in different situations. But I'm definitely excited to meet him. He seems like a really good soul. Like I love meeting good souled people. Now, child, let's move on to the hot topics because we all know that it was breaking news on today that Martell was found guilty of, I don't want to lie about what he was found guilty of. Does anyone have that exact information? Does anyone have the exact information of what he was found guilty of? I do agree that Bria loves the toxicity of it all. Thank you, Paulette. I appreciate that. Hey, cutie pie. Yes, BTV. He seems amazing. I hope you get it as well. Yes, convicted, guilty of domestic violence via communication. Thank you, BTV. I was like, I want to make sure I quote it right. I wanted to cover this not because I cover Love and Marriage Huntsville at all. I don't. Watching some of the drama is honestly triggering for me. So I try to stay clear of it. But this I felt was important to talk about because I think oftentimes we don't think that domestic violence is domestic violence if there are no hands being thrown. And as a person who was literally almost gifted a restraining order because I was getting harassing emails and texts, and harassing doesn't even have to mean it doesn't have to mean that violence is being threatened. It can just mean unwanted communication when a person has expressed and vehemently expressed that they don't want you to contact them. And you continue to do so beyond them requesting you to do so. My therapist and my attorney advised me to make sure that I did all communication in writing so I could create a record, meaning I blocked him from contacting me via phone. He could only contact me in writing forms via text and via email so I could keep a record. When I tell y'all, I'm not even joking. Ask my mom. I would forward her everything so I could make sure I had a second copy of everything. He would literally send me 10 to 20 page emails. 10 to 20. Y'all, every single day. I mean, pages of text. And I would be like, stop contacting me. Stop contacting me. And so I actually am happy to see this highlighted because it raises awareness beyond physical abuse. You do not have to put your hands on someone to abuse them. You just don't. And if you're not listening to someone's request to be left alone, then you deserve to be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Absolutely. I believe that. And it's really unfortunate that it has gone this far, but y'all don't understand these things can escalate. And oftentimes we as people that are being victimized, we give people a lot of chances. We give people a lot of chances and we give people a lot of grace. And God forbid we have any kids with them. Thank God I didn't have any kids with mine because ugh, thank God. So when you have children with someone, that is oftentimes you will give a lot more grace than you should. It takes a lot sometimes for people to even get to the point of wanting to file a report because they're thinking about their kids first. A lot of people won't file if they have kids. They won't seek justice if they have kids. Thankfully, I didn't have none. So I was like, no, thank you. Oh, wow. You said sounds like he didn't want to let go of his good supply. Oh, absolutely. Narcs don't ever want to let go. Are you crazy? Narcs will maintain contact at any cost. That could be so so anytime I see this behavior, I already know what the deal is. Literally, most narcs want to maintain some sort of connect to you. So even when I dumped the two narcs, because I literally dealt with two back to back. Even when I broke up with them, or in this case, I filed for divorce, they both were still in my stories every single day. or liking my post. If I've told you to leave me alone, you being in my stories and liking my post is not leaving me alone. They don't understand that though. It's like something is it's mentally off and wrong. They don't understand that. I promise you they don't. That doesn't compute to them. Yeah, having a child with any narc is exhausting. God, I did not, that is not my story. Thank God I did not have any children by a narcissist. My children have one father, and he has never tried to make my life hell, ever. Never tried to make my life hell. He let me live. I've never tried to make his life hell. He'll tell you. I have never. He's never done it to me. I've never done it to him. You said mental is the worst and so much harder to endure because you fear. Oh, yeah. I think that's the challenging thing because, again, you are connected, whether you like it or not, with this person for the rest of your life. Your kids grow up to have things, kids grow up to have functions, or they have marriages and babies. And, oh, you got to sit there and, ooh, Jesus. I thank God. Oh, I thank God. I thank God. That's not my story. That's not my story. Me and my kids, Dad, we can go all the kids' functions and not have one issue. He sit on the same row as me and my family. We be all laughing and chuckling. Don't let nothing funny pop off. We all be cracking up. Like, it is a peaceful exchange. It really is. Peaceful exchange. But when you're dealing with them narcs, that it's nothing peaceful about it. And they don't want it to be peaceful. They do little things to get under your skin. So I'm grateful that it's being, like I said, I'm talking about it because of the type of domestic violence. The type of matters. And it's important to highlight because, again, people associate domestic violence with physical abuse. No, no, no. Domestic violence can be unwanted contact of any kind. When I have told you to leave me alone and you still insist on bugging and meddling, y'all, I promise you, this joker would go from messaging me like crazy to in the DMs to emailing me to texting me to calling me. When I blocked him, the emails went through the roof. I had to figure out how to block emails. It was crazy. I'm like, what is happening? And then once I noticed that the cyber stalking was happening, I blocked him on all my social media. But the crazy part is that it elevated his temper tantrum because he couldn't see me on social media. It is bananas. And then they'll send their flying monkeys to watch you because they can't watch you directly. Let me find out you a flying monkey. You get blocked too. And a lot of it is to try to police what you say. They don't like to be exposed. You say you have the best co-parenting situation. Oh, I agree, KD. I'm grateful for my co-parenting situation. Everybody ain't able. I am grateful to God that it's not my story. But when they can't watch you like they want to, they do have flying monkeys that watch you. You said, I love you. I hate you. My family loves you. It's so crazy. Yeah, like I said, they're not stable people. So I listen, she's got the conviction. She can utilize that. If there's any other issues, she at least has it documented. And oftentimes filing a report is not necessarily about putting someone in jail. It's literally about creating a paper trail of evidence. So in case anything escalates or progresses, you have the evidence that you need to support a more severe consequence. That's why. I remember someone put hands on me once, and I didn't want to file a police report. I didn't. And finally, my friend talked to me. She said, listen, you need to file a report. Doesn't matter if you press charges, but file the report so that if you do decide to press charges, it's documented. And maybe you don't believe this will happen again, and prayerfully it doesn't. But in case it does, you need to have something on record. So it's also a good way to document and have a paper trail. Anywho, we won't spend any more time on that. I do pray that that he gets the help that he needs. I do pray that all parties are safe and there's no further issues, because again, there are kids involved and that's a serious matter. It's a serious matter even if they aren't kids involved, but it's even more serious when there are kids involved. So that's my thoughts on that. Last but not least, we're going to talk about a question I posted on Twitter today. Y'all, I love Twitter so much. And I especially love it now that this mess is over. So it's fun for me to engage with people online. But I posted on Twitter, after a breakup, do you maintain contact with your ex's family? This could be an ex-boyfriend, ex-girlfriend, ex-wife, ex-husband. Do you maintain contact with your ex's family? Or do you cut off contact with everybody once you break up with your ex? And there were a lot of interesting comments, actually, quite a number of comments. Y'all love to chat on Twitter, but I found the comments to be interesting. Some people actually said they still talk to their mother-in-law every day. I said every day. Now, what I will say, and I didn't answer myself, I really just posed it out there. For me, as a healing mechanism, I personally disconnect. I don't intentionally keep in contact. And I do that as a way to heal and protect my peace. I'm not a person that seeks to insert themselves. Once I'm done and I move on. But I will say I am very cordial with my ex-husband's family because of my kids. Um, and there's no issues. In fact, his my ex-mother-in-law just commented on my Facebook page, and she wished me a happy Mother's Day. I said it back to her, but we don't have regular communication. We're just cordial. And it's interesting because sometimes it just takes a while for it to get there. Now, in the second situation, I cut every last one of them off. Do not talk to me ever. I don't talk to none of them. And I prefer it that way. But I'm not really, once I move on, I don't really engage with my ex's family and I don't see a need to. Um, I used to keep in contact with an ex's sister for quite some time, and we just got disconnected when I moved up here to the DMV. But we kept in contact for a while. And in fact, I had an ex-boyfriend that kept in contact with my sister for quite some time. And I think when she moved, um, they quit talking. I'm gonna take this off because this is just not working. But I don't, and I've never kept in contact with any of my sister's exes. Like, for the most part, if they break up with them, so do I. My sister break up with you, I break up with you too. But I'm gonna be honest. I'm trying to think. For the most part, my friends are the same way. If I break up with somebody, they break up with them too. We one band, one sound over here. However, my boyfriend, my friends already told me. They said, "Listen, if y'all break up, we still keeping him." Caressa is the worst. She is the worst. She was like, "He's still gonna be my brother. This don't work out. I'm still gonna talk to him. We all are. Fortunately. Fortunately, that's how he's still going strong. We're going strong, but you just meet some people that are good people. Heck, I tell him if we break up, he's still gonna be my friend. It's some people that are just good people, and you just want their good energy in your life no matter what. I'm so serious. But my friend said they ain't quitting him, period. Everybody else they quit though. I don't have to worry about now. I do have one little measly ex that try to insert himself with one of my friends, but she don't pay him no mind. She don't pay him no mind. So do y'all keep in touch with y'all exes? I just don't. Once I cut them loose, honey, they is cut loose. But I am cool with some of my exes. I just don't talk to them like that. Like one of my exes, I remember he got married. And I remember, congratulating him on his marriage. And every now and then, he'll reach out on LinkedIn and he'll be like, "Hey, just checking on you. Hope you're good. Um, hope hope all is well." Like real chill. I, for the most part, I really don't. I don't have tumultuous ends with exes all the time, contrary to popular belief, because of what y'all saw on this crazy show. Oh gosh. That has some people like they will always be cool in my book. And I honestly dated some pretty good men. I really have. I have one, he actually became a doctor, but I was real cool with his mom and sister. And they were just a good solid family. He was a solid guy. We didn't work out, but absolutely not a bad thing to say about him. I used to always say he's gonna make somebody a great husband one day. I'm so serious. Such a good guy. Always so respectful. My dad loved him. Oh my gosh. And my dad didn't have any sons, so he used to come play for my dad because he played the piano, but he used to come play for my dad at my dad's church. Oh, my dad liked him so much. Good God from Zion. But I literally, so he was such a gentleman, genuinely nice guy. Have not a bad thing to say about the man. Not at all. I met the kid's dad, and that's how we ended. It wasn't him, it was me. But he really was a good guy. He was. You said every now and then say one. Nope. I say if I cut you off my life, chances are you gave me the scissors. Now, Sydney, I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you. If I cut you out, baby, listen, you handed me them scissors with a bow. And I don't double back. If I don't want to be friends with you no more, I'm not gonna change my mind. And once I burn a bridge, I'm confident before I burn it. I'm confident I don't want to walk back across it. I'm so serious. If I burn it, I do not want to walk back across that bridge at all. But I find that a lot of the exes that I'm still cool with, and when I say exes, it's people I've dated. Not all of them I had relationships with, but a lot of my exes were, I mean, they just were good people. We just didn't work. We weren't a match, but you know, we're cool. If I saw them out, it wouldn't be an issue. We would speak and keep going. I'm not above being cordial. Like, you know, it's all good. But some people are foul, and I don't want to have anything to do with foul people. So I just thought it was an interesting topic. And some people said no, they cut everybody loose. quite frankly, when I tell you when the kid's dad and I divorced, I actually purposely like removed myself. But I remember his god sister calling me and she was like, "Girl, we still gonna be friends. You can't quit me." Like, I ain't having it. So you stuck with me. To this day, she's been in my life since I was, oh gosh, 20 years old. We've been friends for 24 years almost. Good gosh. I'm trying to think. Almost, yeah, almost, well, 23. 23, because Kayla will be 23 this year. So for 23 years, we have had a solid friendship. And she has been my rider for 23 years. I love her like a sister, but she was actually the god sister of my ex-husband. And we stayed tight. We really did. She never judged. She never picked sides. She just said, "Winter, I love you. I don't want to lose you as a sister, as a friend. You can't quit me." And we have remained cool since. So I think it depends on the situation, but it doesn't always have to be tumultuous. I really think it depends on the situation. I think some people just need time and in the future they can move on and be cool. Um, but sometimes it's just best to cut ties and move on. I think there's no right or wrong answer. And I think everyone has their reasons for why they choose to maintain contact with the ex or not. But for me, it's a case by case situation. Some people I don't, some families, even though I may not have an issue with the family, if the person I was with was toxic, I cut off ties with everyone because I don't want a point of contact. And unfortunately, I can't trust the association. Does that make sense? So in that case, I'll cut everybody off. But I'm trying to think. I only had to do that 2 times. I'm so serious. I remember I had dated someone briefly and I became really good friends with his sister and um oh, I can't think of who the lady was to him. It was another family member. We still chat to this day. Every now and then his sister like, "Hey, I'm just saying hey, hope you're good." And I'll be like, "Yeah, I'm good. Hope you're good." I only had to cut ties with two child block. I don't do it often, but I have done it twice. Everybody else, it ain't that dang serious. I ain't going through no extra effort. And I still, for the most part, I mean, I'm not a messy person in if I see someone in public, I'm not going to start being messy. That's just not me. I'm always going to be cordial or I just won't speak. I'll avoid going around a person so I won't have to make it awkward or have an unnecessary interaction. But I'm never going to be popping off, cussing and fussing and fighting. That's just silly to me. And it's classless. It's distasteful. That's not my ministry. But I don't know. I don't know. It's an interesting thing. I feel like I like all of my boyfriend's friends. I wouldn't, if anything ever went left, I would, I would still want to have his friends. I would still want to, child, I'm telling you, I would still want to have them as friends. We've all become a family at this point. Our friends are friends, so we all family. That's what it is. And I don't even think they would agree. They wouldn't approve us breaking up. Oh my gosh. How does an hour go by so fast, y'all? This is crazy. Okay, fine. I said I was going to keep this live an hour because my IG is going to cut off anyway. Again, make sure you like the the video, share it, subscribe, become an IC Insider. If you're not an IC Insider, you get special content, lives, and T, when you become an IT Insider subscriber, I post a lot behind that wall because I just don't want some things public because it's none of y'all's business. None of the public's business. We talk about it in the IT Insider community because we can. But I was like, tomorrow we have our Winter Wisdom Chat Wednesdays. Looking forward to that tomorrow. And then I might do like a behind this, like, we'll have a separate discussion behind to discuss some things I want to discuss that I can't discuss on this, but I'll discuss with the IC Insiders. That's where I'm unfiltered. I'm a little more filtered than I normally would be, but I ain't filtered as I'm not filtered as an IC Insider. That community, I try to be as unfiltered as possible and I share more of my life because that's the whole point. But we have a good time. So if you're interested in becoming an IC Insider channel member, make sure you subscribe and become a member. And then, yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. I took a few days off for Mother's Day, but I'm definitely going to be coming back and being more consistent because I like doing these lives. It's actually fun for me. You guys are so engaged. The YouTube family is growing. I think we're getting close to 6K and we've only did that in like a month. So that's pretty good, y'all. I'm pretty excited about growing the community here. We'll have more hot topics. There's some, y'all know we have our ratchet relationship story time. I got to figure out which one I'm gonna tell next because these get kind of funny. And then some of y'all have decided to come on and share yours. We have some special guests coming to share their ratchet relationship stories. For some reason, I feel like this is going to become a thing that's going to be crazy hilarious, and I cannot wait. But I love talking about relationships. It's a fun thing. Yes, it is fun. We have a good time over here. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great night. Bye.